The monster always lived under the bed, hiding in the shadows and waiting for his next meal. For years, he preyed on unsuspecting children, feeding on their fear and devouring their dreams. But one night everything changed. The monster felt someone's presence above his bed, something he had never felt before. He looked out from under the blanket and saw a child sitting cross-legged on the mattress and looking at him with wide eyes. The monster recoiled in horror, afraid of what this child might do. He had never encountered a person who wasn't afraid of him, and he didn't know how to react. The child smiled, and the monster felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had never experienced anything like this before. The child seemed to radiate a sense of peace and security, and the monster could not help but reach out to him. Over time, the monster and the child struck up a strange friendship. The monster listened as the child told stories and sang songs, and the child stroked the monster's fur and offered him treats. But the monster's happiness was short-lived. One day he heard a sound outside the door. It was a deep, guttural growl unlike anything he had ever heard before. The monster's blood froze in his veins when he realized that something even more terrible than himself was hiding outside. The monster cowered in fear, unable to move. But the child seemed unperturbed. He got out of bed and went to the door, opening it with a creak. The monster watched as the child confronted the creature outside. It was a massive dark beast covered in spikes and teeth. But the child did not flinch. Instead, he held out his hand, and the creature whined and backed away. The monster realized that he had been living in fear of something wrong all this time. The monster was not a child, but the creatures that hunted him, and he knew he would do anything to protect his friend. From that day on, the monster stood guard over the child, looking for any signs of danger. He knew that he was no match for the beasts that roamed outside, but he was determined to do everything possible to keep the child safe. And the child, for his part, seemed content to stay with the monster. He would stroke his fur and sing to him before going to bed, and the monster would bask in the warmth of his love. Together they faced the horrors of the night, and the monster knew that he would never be afraid again, for it has discovered something far more powerful than fear, the unbreakable bond between the monster and his child.